Welcome back to another Championship predictions video. This time we are starting things off with the South Wales derby. Now, will Cardiff be able to make it 5 wins from 5, or will Swansea manage to get a win here in this heated game? Now, I don't think that Swansea will be able to win this one, even though they're at home at the Liberty Stadium. I think Cardiff are going to put on a very professional display. I am predicting a 2-0 away win here that's going to really hurt Swansea, but really benefit Cardiff. Now, next up, will Ipswich be able to bounce back after a late heartache against Cardiff? I'm not sure. I think Sheffield Wednesday are going to be a very tough side to beat. Obviously, both sides have come into this one with 4 wins from their last 5 and both losing their last game. I think Sheffield Wednesday will put that one behind them though, because they're playing against Leeds. It's a really tough game to play, and I think they would have expected the loss. Whereas for Ipswich, they're going to be really disappointed, especially to lose it in the manner they did. So maybe a little bit of that comes into play when I'm predicting this result. So I have gone with a 1-1 draw. Now, next up, we have got West Brom, and they take on Bristol City, who obviously won for the first time in a while on the weekend. But West Brom have been a very tough side this season, especially at the Hawthorns. I think they're a very tough side to beat, even if they're away from home. But especially at the Hawthorns, I think West Brom are going to put on a real good showing of themselves here and send a message to the rest of the league that they are here to stay and that they are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs, which is probably where they're going to end up this season. So I am predicting a 3-0 home win. And I say Liam Manning, pressure is definitely building on him. Now, next up, can Sunderland finally win a game? Well, I don't think so. They're playing against a QPR side that, despite not having the best last couple of matches, they're still a very good team. And for Sunderland, another defeat on the weekend is really not going to help them. Losing Southampton in the manner that they lost more than anything, because I'm sure they would have expected to go and take a defeat there. But I think it's the manner that they lost in that would really hurt them. And QPR, they've picked things up recently. Obviously, like I say, not a good result at the weekend, but that's going to happen. They're not a perfect side, but a much more in-game side now. And I think they're going to win this one here at the Stadium of Light. So I've gone with a 2-0 win to QPR. So, can either of these two teams make it back-to-back wins after both of them getting important ones after a pretty poor midweek prior to that? Obviously, Stoke getting a fantastic win against Preston at Deepdale, and Norwich really hammering Rotherham. Now, I think the away side are going to win this one, and I just think Norwich has got a little bit more quality. I think the only reason they did lose that game midweek was due to the red card, as they were the better team before that. So I'm going to go with a convincing away win here. I'm going to go 3-1 to the Canaries. Now, next up, it is Rotherham versus Huddersfield. Now, I'm going to keep predicting Rotherham to win by outrageous scorelines until they finally win a game. So, unfortunately, Huddersfield is the U this weekend. I think Rotherham are going to win 3-0. And I know this sounds delusional after the fact they've just conceded 11 goals in the last week. But do you know what? Something's telling me that Rotherham are going to win here, finally, after so many matches without a win. It's got to come to an end at some point. I think they're going to win in style here. And for them, I think it's going to send a message to League One next season, because that's where they're going to end up. And hopefully for them, they can have some good days out. So for the Rotherham fans, I'm predicting you to win 3-0 here. Now, we're at Home Park, where Plymouth obviously got a more positive result the weekend, because it had looked a little bit bleak for a while, and it looked like they were going to get themselves into a relegation fight. Well, they're still there, but they're getting away again, and I think it's going to be an important game for them as they face a Preston side who are coming off the back of a disappointing defeat to relegation rivals Stoke City. Now, obviously at Home Park, Plymouth have been better than away from home, but they're not perfect. And I think this game's going to have goals in it from both sides. I think there's going to be 4 goals in it, and they're going to be split evenly, so I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. For this next game, can Middlesbrough make it 3 wins from 3? Well, I think they will. I think Michael Carrick suddenly found something in this team that means that they're going to start playing some better football, perhaps not getting into the playoffs this year, but starting to look like their old selves again. And against the struggling Blackburn team, it's a perfect opportunity to do it. Now, I don't think it's going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. I think Middlesbrough are going to struggle, but being at home at the Riverside, I think it's going to give them that little edge that they need to get past a stern Blackburn side, who will be slightly disappointed after drawing against Plymouth at the weekend. But like I say, I'm going to go with a narrow 1-0 victory for Middlesbrough. Now on to the penultimate game of the weekend. Will Tom Cleverley start his tenure at Watford with a positive result? Well, I think they're going to get a slightly better result than last time out anyway. Birmingham at St Andrews is a tough place to go, but they've both got the exact same record of late. So neither side is really going to come into this with any better form than the other. I think from a Watford standpoint, it's time to start fresh again. And I think they're going to have a slight new manager boost, but nothing major. I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw here, just to steady the ship again, and hopefully for Watford not drag themselves into that relegation fight. Now on to the final game of the weekend. This is going to be a real tense game as Leeds take on Millwall. I think Leeds are going to have too much. They haven't lost at Ellen Road all season, I think they're going to start now. Obviously, Neil Harris's side, they started off really well under him. They haven't lost a game yet, so it's really the worst time for Leeds to be playing a team like this. But I think they're going to hand them their first defeat. It's not going to be an easy one by any stretch of the imagination. It's going to be a very tight game and a bit of a gritty one. But I'm going to go with a 2-1 Leeds win. And that just about rounds this up for today. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.